So we're looking at dividing polynomials, but I want to remind you that in math, when you learn one principle for a particular concept, if we change the numbers or the letters, you use this principle the same way. Don't be intimidated by what letters are used. And so here we have the dividend and the divisor, 2x cubed plus 42 minus 4x. The first thing you always want to do is arrange them in decreasing order of the power, okay? And if you don't have one represented there, then 0 should be the coefficient of that one. Here's what I mean. So we have 2x, okay, cubed, right? That's the first, the highest power. Well, what's the next thing? It should be x squared, right? Well, put a 0, x squared, okay? And then minus 4x. Remember, 4x is the same as as x to the first power, 4x to the first power, and then plus 42. Now, here's what's interesting. 42 is actually multiplying. If you think about it, it's like x to the 0. So the powers go 3, 2, 1, 0, right? But x to the 0 is 1, so we're not going to worry about that. And x to the first power is x, so we don't have to write that 1. That's why you notice that it's in this form. So now we take x, and how many times is, if you take 2x cubed and divide it by x, okay? So 2x cubed, divide that by x, you will get 2x squared, correct? So you go on top, you write 2x, we have 2x squared, okay? And 2x squared times that x, you have 2x cubed, but 2x squared times this 3, we have 6x squared, okay? Now we're going to subtract. So please notice, we took x. How many times does x go into 2x cubed? We write that down, and then how many times when we do that, we multiply the 2x squared times x and 2x squared times 3. So we get 2x cubed plus 6x squared. If we subtract the second equation from the first, these will go away. 0 minus 6, negative 6x squared, right? They're like terms. That's why they can add and subtract. And then everything else just stays the same. Okay, now we take x into that. Again, think about it as negative x squared divided by x. And what do you get? You get minus 6x, right? Minus 6x. And then you multiply it. So minus 6x times x, you get minus 6x squared. Okay? And then minus 6x times 3, you get minus 18x. Okay? Now we're going to, again, subtract the second equation from the first. Minus 6 minus negative 6. Okay? So that becomes a 0. So this goes away. Minus 4x minus negative 18. And so you now have, your integers, right? That's what's going to happen because of the negatives, right? So minus 4 plus 18, we have 18 minus 4, which is 14x. And then you have the 42 coming down. And then x goes into 14 times, right? Or 14x, sorry. So 14x over x is 14. So that gives us a plus 14 here. 14 times x is 14x. 14 times 3 is 42. You subtract the second equation from the first, and you get a 0. And so the answer is 2x squared minus 6x plus 14. And you can line this up. You can line that up on top if you want. There's something called synthetic division, which is a worldview note in our books on page 209. We're told that Paolo Ruffini, an Italian mathematician from the early 19th century, 1809, he was the first to describe synthetic division. It's always interesting to hear about these people, because someday maybe you'll be the one that they'll be talking about as you discover ways to help us better solve math problems and help other people by using these techniques to do other things. So thank you again for being willing to learn, but I want to remind you that it's your responsibility. You take ownership of learning and do your best. Thank you.